Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. So recently, as many of you guys can tell, I actually went to Albany. Every year, normally during President's Day weekend, but sometimes they also have it in April. I'm not sure who does the planning with that, but anyway, New York State Association has a Black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Asian caucus. And what this caucus does, it is to introduce minorities to what services that are available in the state of New York as well as in their respective counties. In addition to that, it is a way for them to meet their politicians to either express gratitude or to express any concerns that they may have regarding their particular issues that they may be fighting for or they feel that need to be corrected and things of that matter. Okay. So what happens a lot of times is it really starts on Thursday and then it ends on Sunday. Well, here's the thing. Normally, many of the delegates throughout the state of New York offer free bus rides on Saturday. They leave around 6 o'clock in the morning and they stay there for the whole entire day. They leave at different times, of course. If you don't get on the bus, of course, it's up to you to decide how you're going to get back. How you're going to get back, that's basically on your own. But the ride to and from on Saturday is free. Myself, I don't really care for buses, especially when the ride is going to be longer than 2 hours. Okay, so I get on the train. The train is a lot more comfortable, spacious, and plus it gets there a lot faster. The train is like 2.5 hours from where I live to where the actual event takes place. The thing is, too, is that on the other days, there are other events that are going on that if you only go on Saturday, you're going to miss out on. They have other lectures, seminars, symposiums, networking groups, not only with the caucus, but then there are other events outside of the caucus that are going on, where business people are actually having lunch with the politicians and actually exchanging information. That's number one. Number two, there are parties going on, particularly the Caribbean party on Friday, that if you wait for the bus, you're going to miss out on. There is some parties on Saturday, but most of the partying, honestly, is late in the night. There's not that many parties in the afternoon. They have breakfast in the morning, and depending on what time your bus actually arrives, you might even miss out on that, right? So that's why myself, and I know I'm not the only one, other people will come before Saturday and will pay whatever amount it costs. It doesn't really cost that much, honestly. It's $35 on Amtrak for myself. Other people might be more, other people might be less. Again, it depends on where exactly you're coming from to actually be in Albany. But anyway, needless to say, I myself, because I am an entrepreneur and I want to partake in as many activities as I possibly can, come in early. Now, when you hear about this particular event, It's important that you book as soon as possible because those hotel rooms fill up fast. And unfortunately, not only do they not have enough hotels in Albany, they don't have enough Airbnbs in Albany. Because last year when I came, that was the first time. All the nearby hotels, the main hotel where the parties happen, and the nearby hotels were done. I couldn't get any room there. So I started looking at Airbnbs, and even many of the Airbnbs, they said that they could not accommodate me because the way they're situated is you had to stay there 30 days or more, and I only wanted to stay 3 nights. Those of you who know, New York Airbnb, they have this restrictive policy now where, you know, you have to be registered and carrying on, and everybody does not want to be registered. So that's why even with the number of Airbnbs, the amount is limited. So you have to book as soon as possible. If you see one, just take it and figure out everything else later on. Okay. Now, weather-wise, last year, it wasn't too bad. It was just windy. It wasn't even that cold, but it was very windy. This year, different story. 14 degrees in the morning, went up to 35, which, you know, warmed up a bit, right? But we did have snow on Saturday. So it's definitely important to dress appropriately for that weather. The hill is very steep. The hill going from the main hotel, which is Hilton Albany, all the way up is extremely long and steep. It's really more, you feel like you're climbing a mountain. You don't really feel like you're walking up a hill. So again, be considerate when you're packing for footwear. Okay. Now, if you are just going to be an attendee, you don't really have to wear a suit. You can, I would say, try maybe aim for business casual, but there are a lot of people who are dressed casually. If you do want to network and you're dressed casual, I would say wear something that has, let's say, the name of your city on it so that other people who may have been on the bus or other people who traveled also by themselves can recognize you and say, oh, you know, let's hook up since we're in the same area and find out what each other is about, or at least wear something that has your company name on it as well, because that stirs up conversation, and networking is part of the reason why they have this. The other reason, or the main reason as well as why they have this, the money for the tickets, which start as low as $25 and then they go up, it depends on what it is that you want. But that money actually is for scholarships for kids to go to college. Okay? So get that out of the way. If you are a presenter, if you are a speaker now, then you may want to consider wearing a suit, because most of the speakers are dressed more professionally. Okay. Now, as far as what I learned this year is that they did a lot more real estate related symposiums, if you will. That seems to be the focus of many of the people here, because what you guys don't know is that New York, it's not the most expensive city in the United States or in the world, but it's one of the most expensive cities. And the Black population has dwindled significantly. All populations, honestly, across the board has dwindled because people simply can't afford to live here. There are people, though, that did leave and then did turn around and come back. Most of the people, I would say, were Caucasians, because they realized that the services in the other states is a lot less than the services that you get here in New York. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just post some highlights at the end so that you can get a feel of, you know, what it is that I absorbed. Please understand this though. I advocate for housing. I'm in the real estate arena, right? So there were other symposiums, seminars, etc., in other areas, not just real estate. It's just that that's my focus, that's my aim, that's what I'm going for. But they do have workshops on being an employee and employee rights. They did have workshops for farmers, for AI, for beauty, you know, because the other issue that's coming out, of course, is the Crown Act, right? Getting that passed, or I'm not sure if that passed already, but, you know, that is another concern. That is another form of discrimination, and it does affect the people in the beauty industry. So there were a number of workshops there. So don't just say, everything is all real estate. No. The only reason why I'm showing you guys real estate is because that's what I'm into. But I think that everybody should participate at least once in your lifetime. You should at least go up there, even if it is to get on a free bus and meet the people who are making the laws that affect your life. Please also note that I notice that other states also have minority caucuses as well. They have Black caucuses, Black and Hispanic caucuses, Black and Puerto Rican caucuses. It seems as though New York is the only one that has, you know, Black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Asian, right? But look in your city, look in your state to see when they have their caucuses, when you can actually participate and see who's for you and who's against you, who you're going to vote for one year, and who, you know, you may say, okay, you know what, I may have made a bad choice voting for this person. I'm going to vote for somebody else next time around. That's why this is a good way in which to grow politically, but it's also a good way to grow career-wise, because you'll see that there were a lot of tables where they were actually looking to hire people. That's number one. And then number two, it's also a good way to grow your own business, because you're able to network with others who either are in your area or complement your area of expertise. Okay? All right, guys. So hold on tight, and I will put in all of some of the, as mentioned before, the highlights of what I experienced while I was at the New York State Association of Black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Asian Caucus.
New York will give you up to $100,000 to buy a house if you qualify. So you know, people who don't make a lot of money or people who have a lot of kids, they might be able to qualify to get $100,000 in free money. And not only that, they can leverage the state money so they can get 100 from the city, 50 from the state. And if they, based on the location of the house, they might be able to get M&T's money or Chase money and they could put it all together. All the big banks have products like this. First is to speak to your bank, where you have a relationship. You speak to Chase, you speak to me, and you figure this out, and we can get you the house. Here's a grant for $40,000 to help with your down payment to help fix up the property. Half the money goes to down payment, half the money goes to fixing up the house. There are lots of opportunities out there. Most people don't know about it because when they go to some brokers, they send them to their mortgage brokers and those send them to the regular banks like us. I have more stuff, but I'm going to shut up for a while.
I said, you say it again? I found one of your properties online. I said, was it lost? Because I don't see a for sale sign, sir. So we had predatory lending, right, where they inflated the wealth. We thought our homes that was really worth 500 was 800. So that was a whole plan to set us up for artificial wealth, and then we lost a lot of our homes. Now we have predatory investors who realize that Brooklyn, oh wow, you know, it's good. You see, we were there when Bed-Stuy was do or die, but now that there's a Starbucks, we gotta leave? No, we don't. So we have to know the value in our home. We know the values in the car. We know the values in our pocketbooks. But you have to know how to protect and keep your home. And how you do that is open up your envelopes. You know, a lot of times that they slip a little notices that compound the daily interest. You don't even realize that one loss, a tax, you could lose your home in taxes, a violation that could triple in interest. A lot of our seniors, what they do is divide and conquer. You know, I talk to a lot of churches. The churches are the pillar in our communities. But what these investors do is they start taking them grocery shopping. And then they will say, hey, don't talk to your neighbors. Don't talk to your family. They isolate you and think they're your friends. Mister, you ain't my friend. You want my property. So we have to recognize who these people are. We have predatory investors that is descending into our neighborhoods, taking our legacy, taking our wealth. We have to stop it. And how you stop it is by paying attention to legislation. You know, they always have legislation to protect tenants, but we also got to protect homeowners who also have tenants in their properties. You know, minority homeowners, you believe it or not, have the most affordable apartments. So you think all these lotteries that's happening, affordable housing, really? A one-bedroom apartment for $2,500, when was that affordable? Exactly. But you have minority homeowners who said, you know what? I'm gonna help you out. Take this apartment for $1,500, $1,200. We have to recognize our family legacy. We have to recognize how to protect our neighborhoods. We have to recognize how to protect our wealth. Don't feed into the matrix of affordable housing, because affordable ain't affordable anymore. I'll hold you down. I'm on my way. DJ Khaled.